Hi everybody, how are you doing? This is sjsrana, Surendrajit Singh Rana reporting for August 9, 2021. Time about 10:00 hours UTC. So we have a closing ceremony on August 8, 2021 in Japan, Tokyo. And what a wonderful event, and how many new players, new names were written in golden names and letters for this Olympic accomplishment. And phenomenal success story from everyone. We see so many new players came up: Joe Warden, Chantal Jennings, Marcus Thompson, Joe Warden. Team USA baseball level Olympic story ends with silver, while Japan sets its cover. So we see many new names, like you look at this Kavita Davison, Alison Flex, the bolstering her legend status by fighting the mothers, Peter Bog, best of swimming at the Olympics, top performers moments names to watch for 2024, John Krawczuk. And the IOC president Thomas Bach made his last of many appearances to officially close this Olympics. Then we got to the final closing, and also we see Molly Seidel and the marathoners she was awarding, and she was also an accomplishment. So all these things and much more has been the spirit of Olympics. People have converged. Humanity has got next level with the pandemic, and despite pandemic challenges, this was organized very well as per many of the participants. And we see this medal tally. Of course, it is something to be seen as, because United States with just one medal in difference to China retained the top position with 39 gold, China with 38 gold. And we see ROC also coming up there with Great Britain, ROC having somewhere around 28, and Japan with 27 gold. So obviously the three positions have been taken by US, China and Japan. So no wonder about it that these nations have scored very well. And these were my original predictions. If you would notice on July 20th video on YouTube, you can search by sjsrana, where I predicted these three nations. And I've also had UK in it, where UK came at the 4th position. But anyways, all in all, it looks very good. 4th or 5th position, it doesn't matter that much, because still it's one of the top 5 nations. And also we see what's been taken as a lesson learned, and what has happened, why many of those big nations or populous nations, like let's take an example, India, having 1.4 billion population, which is like, you can say 10 times population of Japan, but Japan scored 27 gold medals. Or you can say it's like 4 times the population of United States. United States scored 39 gold medals. Or it's like equal to the size of China population. China scored 38 gold medals, whereas India was on 48th ranking, you can say at the bottom 10 row, and just scored, somehow managed to have 1 gold medal with, you can say, a fluke in the air, a throw in the air, it landed somewhere, and anybody could become a winner. So sort of that many people say, because it's a fluke, you say, because 1 gold medal is just a fluke. It's like a javelin throw, like a fluke. So that's what many people say, but their aspirations towards these people, you can see these, all of these air pistol people and whatnot. Many of these shooters, India was bragging about it, that they will be the key gold bagger, because India says, these our shooters are the best, and they are the best aimers, best shooters in India. But you have seen they were standing nowhere. India is the largest contingent to participate in Olympics Tokyo, but it was the lowest scorer compared to the contingent it had. I mean, such a big army of people there, but you see just 1 gold medal. I mean, that's as good as Hong Kong, having a least contingent but still scoring 1 gold medal. Or you can say Indonesia. So folks, this is something revealing, and what India needs to learn from Olympics Tokyo. What India needs to learn. So this was my prediction. You can see this video I've already discussed. They were saying like India will win. The pundits were saying, the pundits or some clowns, you can say, were saying India will win 4 gold medals and overall 15 gold medals in Tokyo Olympics. Many of these stories were propagated in India. and also in many international cover magazines. So, but you have seen the reality is something different. Reality is what you see in practicality, because they participated in it. See, if you don't participate, that is understandable. So many times there are games with people don't participate. Like Russia officially didn't participate, so it's understandable Russia didn't have any ranking in Olympics Tokyo. You will never see Russia, or no Russia anthem was played because for that reason, because it was not participating. So we can understand, even though Russia could score a big time. ROC participated, but ROC is not Russia. It's just the Russian committee, just so that these athletes have some chance. But you see, those nations who participate and they don't show results practically, what will you make of that? It's not a metaphor game, where India people play a lot to befool other people. Metaphor game is something like where you have a hidden time, place, and action, and someone imitates like a monkey business. And if someone can do that monkey business well, they accredit them for the best of the knowledge of the universe, whatever nonsense they say. So that's metaphor games being played in India. But folks, I want to draw your attention to weather climate, because the weather crisis is real. You see this, some of the glaring pictures from Greece. If I tell you it's Athens, you will not believe, because I think when we see these pictures, we believe we are living in Martian land, or like Mars, we are living in some alien planet, because this doesn't seem to be planet Earth. But you can see this is planet Earth, Athens, Greece. Who would just know by looking at these pictures? No one would believe it. But I tell you, the weather climate crisis is real. It's coming because of what the human people as humans are doing to deforestation, to increasing the carbon emissions, and whatnot, polluting planet Earth, daily polluting planet Earth with plastics, with whatnot, disposables, and the use of you can say the explosion of population is also another cause, where these smokes, these burning fires all across, you can see California Dixie fire. What do you take out of this? It's all getting deforestation done, because once these fires burn, trees are of no good, and then they may do the urbanization, because it will be rendered useless. And these things are occurring more often now than even thought. Scientists are even stunned. And the climate change is going real, folks. And I tell you, unless there are some drastic steps, people start going for the planting.
As devastating wildfires burn in several regions of the world, the United Nations prepares to unveil a highly anticipated report on climate change. Now, the study, which will be released on Monday, is expected to give the international community its clearest warning yet about the role of human activity on rising sea levels and temperatures. France 24 journalist Valerie de Kemp now joins me in the studio for the details. Valerie, can you perhaps give our viewers some context on what to expect in this report?
Right. So to put it simply, this is the most significant climate report to be published by scientists in nearly a decade. 234 leading scientists from 60 countries have been working together. They have been evaluating more than 14,000 research papers on climate change to produce a summary of the most up-to-date information that we have on global warming. So it's been a massive undertaking. And the first part of that report that is set to be published by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, also known as IPCC in climate jargon, will focus on the science behind global warming. So the last time such a report was published was back in 2013. And the reason why it's so important, it's because it could have a major impact on how world leaders will tackle climate change in the years to come. The IPCC was actually created in the 80s to assess all the information that we have and to provide, the most kind of relevant information for governments to really tackle climate change. So policymakers will receive a 40-page report, a summary of this report, and this will be a key document. I would even say mandatory reading for anyone attending COP26, the UN Climate Summit in Glasgow later in November, and many calling this COP26 the most important climate summit since COP21, when the Paris Agreement was.
Undoubtedly, people are feeling the effects. You see the overpopulation of India, or the population explosion going on in India. It's 1/3 size of China, folks, 1/3 size of the USA, or 1/3 size of the Canada, or 1/3 size of the Australia, India. is having at least 4 or 5 times size of population of the US, or at least 5 times size of the population of Canada, 6 times the size of population of Australia. What do you call of that nation? And you see the deforestation going on, the level of deep trees, or old age trees, or the trees which are the real foundation, are going away in India. I mean, this is the graph or study done at least 2-3 years back, which is 2019. But you still see a grim scenario. It's all going down. Deforestation is everywhere in India. The urbanization of simple land, forest is going on at a highest pace in India, and there is no control. India government doesn't say anything in UNSC or UNO or UN what they are doing about the population explosion. They say it's the it's the gift of the world, population explosion. Let explode and explore. Because there is no control. India government doesn't have any obligation towards the world or reducing the carbon or reducing the population. I don't think so. They are serious. I mean, you see this catastrophe going all across the globe, and even India is fed up because of these high floods and high-rise waters coming up to shores of India, and you see these houses basically going down towards these deforestation efforts going on. So there is something got to change. As a human rights activist, as a social activist, as philanthropy, I keep saying this, but you meet with the hate crime in India. So recently, India CJI, Chief Justice of India for Supreme Court, says there is threat to human rights is highest in police stations. Yes, this is realizing this fact that there is a threat of life to human rights. But where? In the police station, folks. It's not on the roads. They know roads will be treated with the same hate crimes, and neighborhood people are having hate crimes towards the human rights activists, towards the social activists. That we know in India, it's very common. But the CJI, the Chief Justice of India, sitting at the highest temporal post of courts, is saying this statement. It is not a joke. It is the most serious statement he has said. And what he is meaning by the Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, on Sunday said the police stations pose the highest threat to human rights and dignity, which is the sacrosanct. The threat to human rights and the bodily integrity is the highest in the police stations. Going by recent reports, even the privileged are not spared third-degree treatment, the Chief Justice said. Custodial torture, police atrocities have been going higher and higher. This is what his concern was. He has raised it. And he has tried to bring judiciary and the top cops and even the top branches of executive into this order that what is going on. I mean, why they are after human rights activists? Shouldn't they be after the criminals or organized criminals, gangsters, gang rapists, or those people who are in the narcotics business? But why are they targeting human rights activists or social activists? Well, that's India. They say it's the law of the land. I mean, that's the law of the land. Then where's the law and order, and where's the constitution? I think that's what the High Court or the Supreme Court of India is trying to point to, that there is a threat. For the longest time, he noted the vulnerable sections have lived outside the system of justice. If judiciary wants to garner the faith in the citizens, we have to make everyone feel assured that we are doing per law and order or constitution. That's what the Chief Justice means here. And he has tried to give, and the article has gone in depth, trying to delve into what's the problem and why the accessibility to justice is not that easy in India. So the human rights activists feel threatened not only from what they speak. It's already itself a revealing thing, because in India, as I keep repeating, very few people will align with the truth, because 8 of every 10 India population is downright corrupt, mostly morally, ethically bankrupt, and pathological liars, attacking humanity. Folks of the world, you will realize it later. Maybe you are not getting the imprints because you're not directly dealing with them. But once you start day-to-day dealing with India, people who have lived here, know that 8 out of every 10 India population is downright corrupt, mostly morally, ethically bankrupt, and pathological liars attacking humanity. That's why India is #1 in gang rapes. It's known as gang rape capital of the world. And you see, this judge is being attacked. Recently, a judge of the session court, additional session judge, was attacked in broad daylight in Dhanbad. So where's the safety? This is the judge. Judge already has so much of name, prestige, and sort of, you can say, protection from cops, police. But you see they are being attacked, and even judiciary at many places have said after this incident and prior incidents that the judiciary of India don't think they are being given the safety by the cops or the top cops of India as they are supposed to get. So that's what has been raised, folks. This is high time. I mean, what's India doing? Just pumping the money in the banks, in the forex, making the market shoot up, artificially inflating the market, maybe because of financial terrorism. They're pumping the markets using financial terrorism. God knows. There is something going on here in India which is very spooky, and a lot of Western nation knows about it, but they are keeping quiet, silent, because perhaps their investment is involved in it and they're making big time money. That's why many senators keep quiet. They are silent on India financial terrorism, or you talk about this human rights violations. Russia is obviously always silent. Russia is never speaking anything, as if like Russia is turning blind eye to India human rights abuses, or what's going on with financial terrorism. That's what spooks the whole world, because Russia is considered as a superpower. So Russia has a bigger role. It cannot side with the terrorist. It should not. That's what the expected role from Russia is to be. So recently we saw how India government got exposed on financial terrorism, over 1.4 billion US dollar, and India has now agreed and immediately asked for forgiveness on financial terrorism, and it says it's going to release 13.5 billion US dollars, which it demanded, you can say, like a blackmailing thing, a financial blackmailing. But it's a very softer form of it, folks. It's not like the average gangsters or criminals do. It's like doing some laws, introducing some laws which are totally scrap, and then ruling over those people as companies or individuals, and saying, unless you pay that, the land of the law of the land says you got to pay the taxes, you got to pay this and pay that, pay this and pay that. And these companies say, I mean, it's totally lawlessness. I mean, we have done business all across the world, but we never see such things happening. That's what India government financial terrorism was exposed recently by Cairn Energy, and I have already talked on this topic for at least many times on this forum of YouTube. You can go and check my historical videos. Okay, folks, I take leave here and gotta see you next session.